Good evening, all. We have our AI Daily Read today with 1X, and if you don't know what 1X is, it's a humanoid robot provider that basically does chores, as you can see here with Neo. Let's go straight into the read. 1X Home Robot has a new gig and its factories. 1X secured a captive market for humanoids by cutting a deal with one of its own investors. The robotics startup will deploy 10,000 Neo humanoids across portfolio companies of EQT, the Swedish investment giant whose ventures arms back 1X. The details. The rollout spans 2026 to 2030 and targets EQT's 300 plus companies, with priority given to warehousing and industrial operations, which makes sense because obviously we see a picture with Neo and in a factory basically. For EQT, the arrangement offers a testing ground to evaluate humanoid robotics at scale across diverse operational environments. That's actually a good shout out. Fair play. So, and this is going to look really good on their portfolio with 1X. So, I think this is a good shout out. Fair play. Instead of doing housing, which there is going to be a market for that. I can definitely tell there's definitely going to be a market for that. And I can see this being really, and again, I've said this in my other video with 1X. And if you guys want to check that out, it will be in the link in the description. But this is definitely going to be, this specific robot humanoid is going to be really good for care homes, and you're going to see a lot of them. Trust me, you're going to see a lot of them. I would say after 2030, I think from 2026 to 2030, every bit of the robotics and the humanoids and whatever is going to be more like for the testing grounds. I think it's going to give a good 4 years of testing. We're going to see a lot, like obviously going into certain workplaces and that, but it's definitely going to be. I think these next 4 years are going to make sure all these products are spot on. They're really good. I would say 28 or 2027, you're going to probably see some sales, some really high sales probably. And yeah, but the workforce, I'm telling you, if this is just one part and it's going to change the whole industries, I'm telling you. Anyway, let's continue our read. So, this partnership marks a pivot for 1X, whose Neo has been marketed as the first consumer-ready robot designed to transform life at homes. It's still going to be this. I generally think they still need to keep this as a market, as in their niches, I should say. But I think it's a really good testing portfolio for them, because if they can do factories, they can definitely do housing. But let's carry on reading. 1X does make an industrial robot called Eve, but this deal specifically deploys the consumer-orientated Neo. So they already got one called Eve, but I think there's been a lot of hype with Neo from when I did the video. Then, yeah, they probably want to just push Neo out a bit more. Anyway, why it matters. While 1X marketed Neo as a home robot, consumer adoption faces steep hurdles. A 20,000 price tag, privacy concerns, and safety risk around children and pets. This is going to be the main thing for them, for people and consumers. It's going to be these three. I mean, I don't think anybody and everybody is going to buy the robot. I think they have to have some type of money to do this. So it wouldn't be like, people who don't, just work in a normal 9 to 5 job. I don't think they're going to be having it. I don't think it will suit them anyway, but yeah, we're going to see a lot more rich people have these. So, but even if they do, these are going to be the things they're going to be really concerned with. Privacy concerns, safety, risk with children and pets. So, yeah. And also damage control as well. We don't know if the robot's going to have like a little meltdown and it can cause a lot of fires, or, a lot of things can go wrong. By pivoting Neo intro industrial settings, let me read that again. By pivoting Neo into industrial settings, 1X secures near-term revenue and real-world validation, while the far more challenging consumer market slowly matures. That's a very interesting read. I think Neo is, from when I saw it from the housing kind of point of view, so if you want to let's just quickly look at the website. So as you can see, it's aimed at a specific market. I love how they filmed this, by the way, but I've done a breakdown on this whole website, so I'm not going to go through it again. As you can see, though, this is what I see Neo, and when I first saw it, I can see it doing this now. Obviously, as you can see here, it's just carrying a cup, you know, opening the doors, etc. So with it to do in anything in factories, it's going to be a lot of heavy demand and stuff. So they're going to have to update Neo, because I swore they had the specs on Neo as well, but I'm not going to go through the whole website. And as you can see, it's doing a little basic task. Yeah. But yeah, this was one of my favorite things I covered, guys, but I'm not going to go through it all. But yeah, this was a good little read. But I think most robotics and most, in fact, yeah, when it comes to robotics and how they're going to help the general public, or wow, I would say the higher market people, it's going to be these three: privacy concerns, safety risk, and if it's going to be sustainable for children and pets as well. So guys, I'm going to end the video here. A very interesting read. I actually liked this, and it is one of my favorite things I covered this year, was the 1X video. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that again, please, it will be in the link in the description. And yeah, thank you ever so much. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Ashley Mason. Please stay safe and look after yourself. Peace out.